Hooray! All right, we're live. This seems like the best way to do these videos anymore every month. So yes, it's May. And yes, we're going to open up a brand new envelope. And yes, this is kind of halfway through the month, which, sometimes happens. That's life. Sometimes it's a little bit late and you just have to roll with the punches. So thanks for joining me. And if you're new around here, hi, I'm Katie. I'm the host of the Knit a Spell podcast, and I do YouTube videos right here about magical making, knitting specifically, but also all sorts of fiber crafts. So I hope you enjoy this video. And if you do, remember you can subscribe. If you're watching live, that's how you can chat with me. Once you are a subscriber, pardon me, once you're a subscriber, you can go ahead and chat. And if you're watching this after I'm live, you can always leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Okay, so first, a couple of things. I know many of you are anxiously awaiting episodes of Knit a Spell from the Fiber Witch Festival. That was a couple of couple of weeks ago at this point. I'm working on them. It's been a lot of work. There's been a lot of life happening, but I promise they are coming, and I am working on one to come out maybe this weekend, but certainly next week. So barring anything wild happening, be on the lookout for that. Speaking of, if you are not on my newsletter yet, now is a great time to join. Below, I have a link that if you were at the Fiber Witch Festival, you may have gotten, how do I not have one around me right now? You may have gotten a sticker. There we go. Right here. Ta-da! And if you got one of these stickers, there's a QR code. And if you go to that QR code, there is a form where you can sign up for my newsletter. And by doing so, be entered for a chance to win the Knit a Spell bags that I always, I had for sale for a little bit. And then the manufacturer no longer makes them. And so I bought them out and I only have a few left. So you can get a pouch possibly and the zip bag. Ta-da! Both of which have magical things on the back. So that one is all about notions. This one has the sigil that I made for makers to trust your gut on what's inside the bag. So if you're ever making something and you're like, oh, I feel like it's going wrong, that helps you trust that gut. More information on that in the links below. Okay, so now that housekeeping is taken care of, let's talk about envelopes. Mainly, let's go back to April to remember real quick what happened, because it's like a whirlwind. This month has gone by so fast. Yes. Okay. So April was very like motherly, maternal, wise, but strong energy. So like a lot of moon. There was Diana, there was Blue, there's the Queen of Pentacles. So lots of like strong female energy, which I really love. So we'll see how that is perhaps balanced by what is in May's card. But I do remember a lot of like, coming into fruition, waiting for things to happen that you've been working on. And so maybe May is where all of that is being reaped, right? Okay, so let's pull May off and see what we got. There we go. All right, and inside, remember, if you're playing along, now is the time to remember your intention that you've set through the year. If you are writing, journaling along every month, again, this is a great time to look back and see what your reflections were and to have it handy for any current reflections that you'll have once we open this. So, all right, first off, let's look at the tarot card that is included. Ooh, okay, well, interesting. Very the opposite energy, possibly, from our Queen of Pentacles. So this is the Emperor. Number 6. Sorry, number 4. I can read. Okay, and then our Doodle card is, crystal ball shelf. Crystal ball on a shelf. Do you see they're kind of holding a ball? This is a crystal ball. Okay. Next, wow. Okay, the color is Citrus Pop Very electric in itself, right? It's a hard one to get on camera. It's like a neon yellow. And then Neptune. Okay, so I'll read a little bit about Neptune for those who might not know. So this is the god and planet Neptune reveals our dreams and illusions from the depths of our subconscious. So evoke Neptune, ruler of the silver screen, photography, and mysticism. When the moon is in Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. We just are coming through that. Go to the ocean at dusk or dawn. Draw Neptune's symbol, the trident, pictured above here. Oop, hold on. Into the sand, and then surround the symbol with seashells found along the shore. Ask Neptune to then stretch open the imagination beyond its limits. Lie on the trident, allowing the water to cover you, and chant, King of the sea, nourish, inspire, and enliven me to your trident of potency. Let each wave reveal a message meant only for me. If you want to read more about that, I can post this later in the community on here so that you can take a look and reference it later, perhaps. Okay, so before I say anything, let's just take a look at all of these symbols and cards together to see if there's any little symbols or patterns that we're noticing here, right? I mean, right now I'm noticing yellow prominent in this card as well, especially on the crown. Sorry, on the crown here. So that's always like ideas coming through. Yellow is often the element of air, which is again like in the mind or having ideas, which is interesting because this yellow, again, like it's electric yellow, right? So it's like the idea moment, right? So perhaps if you last month was all about sort of like maybe taking care of your inner self and working on inside things or self-care. Maybe this month is more of the energy of like, okay, now that you had your moment to sink in, now it's time to go out. So use a moment to reflect on what's come through, and then don't be afraid to go after these ideas, because the current will wash in ideas as quickly as it will wash them away. So you have to act on them when they're around, right? Nothing lasts forever. And with this, I really feel like May could be a great month for totally new inspiration. Maybe something that's pushing you out of your limits, or something that like you've always had in the back of your head, like, oh, I'd really like to learn how to do brioche knitting, but I was always hesitant. Or maybe it's cables or a whole other craft. Maybe you're like, oh, I want to learn how to weave. I see here that there's some possible spider web action in this corner. So that's always like the weaver in me, I think. Or maybe you want to do more outside things. I mean, certainly Neptune, if we're doing water magic, especially at the beach, good time to go outside. Maybe we're doing that in the daytime. Maybe we're doing that at nighttime. But we're just being careful. We're making sure we're allowed to be there, and we're being really safe because the water demands respect, just like fire and everything else. So interesting. Okay. Maybe also this could be a sign for if you maybe need like a little bit of encouragement to finish a project, or you have a blocking pile set aside that you're like, one day I'm gonna get to all of them at once. Maybe May could be your time to like wipe them all clean. We are getting to the halfway point of the year. Why not start kind of with a fresh start? June is often a great time to reflect and look back on what happened, to recalibrate how you want your rest of your year to go. So since this is May, you could sort of like kind of wing it with like one more hurrah before, looking back and seeing, okay, how do I want to take this year for real? How many projects do I want to have done? Do I need to start on my holiday crafting making. I don't do that, but a lot of people do that. And, it's a lot less stressful if you plan ahead. So that could be something that maybe we're thinking about, right? So we're not freaking out for the future. We're listening to our gut, right? We see the signs that we've made. Oop, pardon me. Okay. So those are our cards. I'm very interested to see and hear from all of you. I appreciate you so much for your continued watching and telling me your thoughts in the comments. They're always inspiring because we all think differently. All these symbols are going to mean different things to us, especially when they compared to our intention. So my intention was I craft with community and passion, which I certainly was in the midst of that last month. And so this is kind of interestingly more of my month of reflection, even though this seems like a more active time. I'm going to be reliving a lot of stuff from last month. So a very interesting time. Okay, before I go, let's do one more card from my little oracle cards that I've made from my designs. I had a bunch more, so I almost have all of them, I think, which nothing will make you more impressed about the amount of work that you've done than filling out almost 50 cards. That means these are patterns you've made over the years. So like little time vessels, time traveling machines. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's see what we got. What pattern could inspire us this month? It's May. May. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Oh, here we go. Protection, Sigil, Cowl. Ooh, one of my favorites. So this is a fun one because it has this sigil for protection that I designed. So from every direction, you have protection. If you want to learn more about that, you can check out the episodes of Knit a Spell that I did, I think like 2 years ago, where I talk all about the cowl. Plus there's a hat that also has the sigil right in the front, all inspired by Icelandic witchcraft. Really fun collaboration that I did with Sigil. So if you want to learn more about that, I'll put all the info after we're live in the, description thing for you to enjoy and maybe cast on, because perhaps, you'll need a little protection either this month or in the future, or it just doesn't hurt to have some like on hand, right? And speaking of protection, if you've been looking at my awesome kerchief here, it is one of the many purchases that I indulged in while at the Fiber Witch Festival. So if you're interested in learning more, don't worry, episodes are coming up, and one will be all covering the vendor haul, which was amazing. I'm still processing. So that will do it for this month. As always, if you're interested in supporting the channel for free, just subscribe. It's quick and easy to do. Plus, then you'll know about all of the upcoming months for inspiration, plus new episodes of Knit a Spell and other fun things that are on the horizon. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Merry May.